Right, so here we've got a video to look at the setup of a stepper motor. Okay, so we have a stepper motor provided here. There's not a huge amount of wiring in for this stepper motor because what we have is we've a dedicated driver board. Okay, so a little bit hard to see from the video, but we've a dedicated driver board, and basically you could make this board yourself from transistors and stuff, but there's a very nicely supplied driver board that just makes the connections very easy. So coming out of the connections, I'll try and get a good view of it. You'll see we have some input pins, so in 1, in 2, in 3, and in 4, and that's all we really need. You'll also see we've got the connections for if we want to set up 5-volt supply, or we could do a larger voltage drive at 12 volts. So we're just going to use the 5-volt supply. And then we have our kind of 4 output wires that go into the coils of the motor. Okay, and we also have some LEDs which are going to be useful because they show us how this will help when I'm going through the code, because it'll literally show you the steps that you're going through in order to turn the motor. Okay, so it's a stepper motor. So basically what that means is the full 360 degrees is broken down into steps, and basically we move the motor through the steps to get it around to the full 360 degrees. So there's 2048 steps to get this around. Obviously the more steps you have, the more accurate the motor can be. The problem with this motor, although they're very cheap, it's very slow motor to get it to go the whole way through around those full amount of steps. And there's good accuracy, there's good torque in it, but kind of speed is not great with this one. But accuracy very good. Like I said, what we're going to do is we're going to look at controlling this motor by full stepping, so stepping through all the full 2048 steps. There is kind of quicker, more efficient ways to control it in 4-bit stepping and 8-bit stepping, so that you don't actually go through every single step, but we're going to keep it simple for the moment. The other setup that I have is just basically I have my power supply that'll give me 5 volts out, and I have my MBED just set up in another breadboard to keep it nice and neat. And then the only thing is here, okay, so that's my wires coming out from my power supply down below here, so underneath them wires. Okay, don't worry about these wires, that's just to hold the driver board down in place and keep it nice and neat. So then going ahead and connecting this up, what I've just taken is just taking these 4 input pins and connecting them over to my MBED. So I've used pins 16, 17, 18 and 19 on my MBED. So the input wire, so in 1, which is the purple wire, is going to pin 16, and then working my way down through. You just have to forgive me, I ran out of kind of jumper leads, so I just use crocodile clip to connect into the last one. So that's all it is, 4 inputs into the MBED, and then just hooking up my 5-volt supply into the 5-volt connection. So you'll see it at the top there, making sure I have the 12-volt cut off, so tapped off, so that's not being used. Again, using crocodile clips because I have no jump leads here at home, and then just making sure that those 2 crocodile heads aren't touching off each other. That's all we need, just power supply to the board and our 4 inputs connected into our MBED. So really most of the work happens within the coding for this, and then we can test out our stepper motor. We just have our stepper motor running. So what you can see is it's turning very slowly, but you can also see the steps being triggered there from the MBED. So that's how we're going through each step, very slowly moving through it. And as I say, the stepper motor slowly turning it around. So again, we're triggering each step, and the lights are kind of there to help indicate that. So it's in full stepping mode. Now we're just going to see it much quicker. So you'll see the motor turning much quicker. Obviously it's very difficult now to see the actual LEDs being triggered because they're being triggered so quickly. But there's a full revolution. That's about, nearly as quick as I can get it. Not overly quick for 1 revolution, but that's full stepping mode. That's just been sped up a little bit. So the LEDs can help us kind of see the steps that's going through it, but obviously when we speed it up, we're not going to be able to see that. But that's all the wiring and the setup for the stepper motor. So very easy because we've got the driver board, and really most of the control and the action takes place within the MBED itself, within the code, in order for us to go through each step and trigger the coils inside the motor, so we can go through it in each step and get good accuracy.